help you, gents?
3 coffees.
We're better. I'm going to say better be coffees, aren't they, at this stage, yeah? Yeah.
Well, I think I might have a pint of woolly jump when I get back.
So there you go.
Cheers. Thank you. I
think you'll need it.
Fairway. And eventually you come to a stream. That's the other way around. You should be number 1.
Oh, we've got it wrong already. We're just doing it on positions. Look, I'm first.
35, 47.
41:27. Sign how many gates there is to open.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
It's what, doesn't it? But it does it level, it flattens off, and then you get these big holes.
Yeah.
That's white out.
Who's a 4 or however many of you?
42, you get the added benefit of the...
Ian Holmes?
I think it's might be more sledging weather.
15.
Cancer charity.
It's a poor effort one though, I've seen it right round there.
The winner lads at work who comes on and do a big lift for a Bones and Ball movie.
You're a lot of bloody nuts.
Kind of injury.
You've got a bad knee.
Better than your toe. Drilled holes in it.
You can get very stuck on running on the roads or thinking that you can't go out at night, and in fact you can.
And what the latest technology in torches has brought in, that you've been able to run off-road at night quite easily. So you're back to what you love, running on the fells.
But running in the dark and running away from public areas, it's not sociable. You're self-reliant and you're alone. Everybody there does take responsibility for themselves and understands that that's how it's run. It's an unusual experience, not something that you normally get to do, really. Running up a big hill in the dark is something quite special, really.
With the night running, you've just got that beam of light onto your bit of path on your bit of mountain. Every little bit of that mountain operating it in your head, so you can see that rock and think, oh, this is where I am. You have to know your course really well. If you go off course, you're lost. You could be anywhere.
I hope right was the right way to turn across that wall. We know I'm dark there, is there? I think probably best tracing wall back up, aren't we, where we've come? Right. Yeah. So then we don't have to we should have known Ted what right way, shouldn't we?
Time just disappears when you're running on in the night with your light. You think, oh, I've only been out 10 minutes. You look at your watch, you've been out an hour and 10 minutes.
And you can become disorientated incredibly quickly, which is a challenge. When you're running at night with a head torch, most of your field of vision is just darkness, and then you have this little area in front of you, which in a way is just your area of the fell, and you focus just entirely on that. All the peripheral things are of no use to you whatsoever. and you notice the details of the landscape extremely vividly in a way that you don't so much in the daytime.
When you go up in the daylight, you think, how can you get lost on here? But then at night, it just changes its image so much that you have to know that little bit of mountain at that time.
You're aware of where other people are, I guess. You can see their lights bobbing around, but they're not your main concern, really. And I think that degree of focus is very interesting. I mean, it is almost like meditation, really. It produces that effect, I think.
My first love has always been fell running. I live in Keighley, but a couple of miles away you're up on the wild moors of the South Pennines of Yorkshire. It wasn't until you really started to train that you realise what were on your doorstep, so you can just go on for miles and miles. It's just the freedom of the moor and such like. When you're running on the road, you're just thinking about how fast I can go about the time. As fell running, it's about your mountain craft over the next person, and just about how fast you are and how fit you are. It's where I can drop in, where I can get rid of him. If he's following me, do I take him a rough way over some bad rocks? And a lot of it's about pace judgment, especially one where there's multiple climbs where you climbing, descending, climbing, descending. You always got to try to think. The thing about being a fast fell runner is trying to keep your speed going over whatever terrain you're running on. When you're on that type of terrain, you are concentrating, you need to concentrate. As many times you are a long way from help. And you wouldn't like anybody to miss their race or spoil their day by having to help you. So you do tend to try to look after yourself, even though you would stop for somebody who needed your help.
With road running, it's really fairly easy just to find a pace and settle into that pace and keep that going. And you have a battle with your own mind to keep the pace, because there's nothing else to think about half the time. Whereas with fell, you can't ever relax, really. Mentally, you can't ever stop.
There's no flat areas, you're either running uphill or running downhill. Sometimes all you see is a path in front of you, concentrating and not tripping up and falling over. Where you tend to get injured is where you're not concentrating.
Running in the daylight, you notice things, you get out and see the world.
When I'm out in the lakes, I like to have a look around and see what's around me and look at the mountains.
And you're very aware of the landscape as a whole, of the panorama and the shape of it, whereas at night, your focus comes right down to the details. It's almost like a magnifying glass, really. Your brain is processing huge amounts of information all the time.
Right, we'll do our timekeeper's guess. I reckon it'd be Ian. Oh! It's the wrong one! 30. Well done, Ted. 36.30.
Oh, too slow.
Where's Mr. Holmes?
Oh, I
Left him for dead.
took him and Steve Brock wrong way. And I ended up in a field that I knew where I was, and they didn't trust me anymore, so I carried on.
Right, I think that's why I went right. I can see, I think I saw, you know where I was?
Probably a million miles out.
It's no good, it's our left arm that's missing.
I couldn't see their lights, I don't know where they've ended up.
Did you fall over?
It looked like I could step over it, I could see. I think I just stepped and it was straight in.
Just like
Have you
glass.
got your washing machine on standby?
And gone off to the right. And then, you know when you're wrong, you think you're wrong one way. I'm sure I was wrong to the left, so I kept going right.
Is he alone? Hey, where have you been?
Where's Holmesy?
He's just behind. We got a bit lost. Congratulations. Is that a new route?
Fell running has been going on for a very long time. There's always been amateur running groups and races in the lakes and the guides races and the things that people organise themselves. It's very low-key and democratic. and it's just a much more pleasant environment than all the high-powered, money-orientated sports where you are just a spectator really, and you're a consumer, you're a subject, whereas with sports like fell racing you're a participant and you can participate at your level as much as you want really. It is your arena. What goes on at athletics in this area at an amateur level is just really important, and it must have more profound impact on people's physical health. It just makes people well really, and your interaction with people from your area and exploring your area. And there are no big egos really. There's a world of difference between being obsessed by where your club is in the Premiership and passively watching, actually getting out there and doing something and having a go. It's not watching these gods and goddesses on the television. It just doesn't do anything. That does nothing for people's lives. It just makes them feel worse, I think.
Where have you been?
We did, that wall turned right.
How far on that wall did you go?
Oh, miles.
Right to the end of it?
No, we realised halfway along we thought this is wrong. We should have turned left.
Then you come all the way back
Along
up
the wall, yeah.
right to the end.
Camille, no.
Camille,
Yeah.
have you seen anybody else, Camille?
No. I saw Jill. Jill was way on the way down when I was still going up. It's so icy, I fell over.
So as long as you focus and keep your mind calm and straight, you know you can get yourself off and get back down again into the pub really.
It's not all just about the race. It doesn't matter about what you win, it's about the crack afterwards as well. It's about a nice day on the fells. It's a way of life. If you're worried about what you're going to win, you won't go to them, you'd go to work and do a bit of overtime for money.